Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to another review. We'll be looking at Lasswell 2. First of all, his Trust Mastery is pretty good, but it's not the best. So if you're going for 4 of him, you're probably not going to be equipping this because you probably have something better. So his STMR is basically just a better version of Axstar's STMR. Gives MP refresh, gives some modifiers on all these abilities here. So basically just a snub to people who have Axstar's STMR or don't have a two-handed katana. Hey, you need to get this, or use your STMR Moogle to get this, because basically you really need this equipped to him in order to get the full strength out of the unit. So if that is a deterrent to you, please just try to look for another damage dealer. Probably next week, right? It seems to be the running theme now. Summon Festival every week, or Summon Festival every other week now. So this is nice to have. This is just Finger Snap though, but it's a nice dispel to have on your attacker if you have a free turn. You have some modifiers on this cooldown ability. It's a pretty high modifier attack on its own, so it's probably decent to have in a rotation. Not useful at all. Defense and Spirit Breaks are not useful on an attacker. You'd never want to use that. These are not so great. I don't know why they have the Fire and Ice, because it doesn't look like they have any elements to them unless it's a parsing issue. This is the Aurora chain, which actually looks very similar to Axstar's. Axstar's Aurora chaining, if you have Axstar, it looks like almost the exact same. And he can do the do the imbue just like Axstar can, but he also has some elemental resistance added in, like kind of like Onion Knight. But 30% is not very high, so you're really not considering that at all. You're mainly doing this for the imbue. Same thing, kind of like Axstar's, where he gives himself MP restore, and it's also Divine Ruination Chain, so you can actually use this with Axstar if you really want to. Same thing here. So these two abilities are like Axstar a lot like Axstar. And this is probably the main move. Just like Axstar, he has the ramping scaling damage dealing move. This is the Imperial, just like Axstar, but this is a little higher, I think. I think it's 5% higher, which is pretty significant when you think about damage. And yeah, so you can use your Axstar probably like in 10 mans with him if you really wanted to, because he has a lot of the same abilities. Divine Ruination is just very funny to even see at this point in the game. So then this move doesn't really do anything. It's a huge hit, but it doesn't really do anything at this point in the game. This move is just okay, nice to use in your rotation if you really want it, but it's not really. It doesn't imperil. It doesn't like ramp his damage up anymore. So it's, I don't know, not so great. And then the standard attack buff and modifier buff, which is nice to have. Some modifier buffs here. This actually is a lot better. This one's a lot better than the other cooldown. The 105 level 105 cooldown. This one's a lot better. I'd recommend just waiting for this one. And AoE auto revive. Wow, that's kind of crazy to have that. Kind of like a Chocobo phenotype ability. Yes, it's only 50%, but having this on your attacker is actually insane. Like if there's a turn and you can't deal damage because the boss has like 100% mitigation or something, this is the move to use. This is kind of insane. And it's not available on turn 1, so it's not like you gotta wait like a million turns to use this or something. This is actually crazy, guys. This is really crazy to have it on your attacker. some elemental resistances, some LB fill rate. We're gonna get LB fills. We're gonna get into why this is nice to have. He has a lot of fire and ice resistance. That's a lot. This is our 80% elemental resistance, so that's pretty neat. And 10% MP per turn on top of his STMR if you were to equip it. That's 17% MP for refresh per turn. That's actually insane. Some defensive stats, some MP, some LB fill rate. 150%, that's really high. Paralyze, Confuse, and Petrify resistance, that's really good. That's really, really good. Disease is not so important, but it still would be nice to have a resistance to that. So that's actually insane, guys. So the top 3 are resisted, so you don't even need, sometimes you won't even need to equip anything to them for full status immunity. Because at this point in the game, poison's not that threatening, silence is not that threatening. I mean, blind, yes, that will be annoying, but not a lot of bosses do that, so it's nice that this is here. Standard 50% attack when equipped the katana, so you will definitely be equipping a katana on this guy. Speaking of, let's see, he does not have very many choices anyways, so you probably wouldn't want to be equipping swords or great swords. You probably want to be equipping katanas only. 30% attack, 100%, so 100% TDH, and the classic old guts on there. To W skill. This is a lot. 60% attack. So this is when you equip his TMR or his STMR. 50% attack. So he gets 8 per turn, guys. Enhanced Limit Burst if you equip it. This is pretty crazy. 5 turns modifiers. And he gets triple cast for 2 turns. A lot of defensive stats, some more MP. So he has a 150. Pretty standard. 150% TDH. That's pretty standard. Some defense, some spirit, and then this is nice. His magic is not worth looking at. So his limit burst is very high if you max it out because it's chaining. I'm not really sure who it's chaining with. Maybe it changed with Axstar, but the 50% ignore defense is going to hit very hard, and he gives him triple cast just like Axstar does. So a lot of people have said that he's Axstar 2.0, and I have to agree. He has literally the same abilities like Axstar does. He has AT chaining. He has the same Aurora Ray chaining. Almost the same model as his as well. I like this finger snap. I like the auto revive the most. I actually like the auto revive the most in this kit. And also he has an insane amount of MP refresh per turn. 10% I've never seen before in a unit before. And he has so much defensive stats, like HP. He has so much HP, spirit. So I think this unit is pretty good. The bad part is that you can't UFC him. For everybody that's just joining in the JP side or not aware of the JP side, Helma's basically made it so where I make these summon festivals where you can't UFC the unit. So I can't, like in my other videos, guys, if you watch my other reviews, that I say, oh, you can UFC this guy or you can't UFC this guy, it's not worth UFCing. I can't even recommend if you can UFC it or not because you can't even use it on this unit. So you basically have to use your hard-earned lapis or spending money to get this unit, and you can only go one lap on this, only one lap. Unlike the CG Unite banner where you could go several laps, this is only one lap. So if you're going for him, you basically have to go the full lap unless you get like godly lucky, and either get 2 of him and get an STMR removal, or you need to get 4 of him. Because like I said, his STMR is basically crucial to his kit. You really need his STMR for him to work well, so unfortunately this guy is kind of a hard sell. He's really strong and I like a lot of things in his kit, but it's a hard sell for people who are free to play, don't have a lot of resources, trying to save for this next Final Fantasy protagonist. But if you like Lasswell and you like the story, I mean, I think this is a safe character to go for, but I'm just saying, if you're trying to hoard resources and you don't have a lot of resources to use, then you might want to pass on this guy and wait for the next damage dealer to power creep this guy, which, I don't know, it won't be that hard to power creep him. I know that's insane for me to even say such a thing, but he does not have starter straight chaining. Starter straight chaining is the new thing. AT chaining is on the way out. It's exiting stage left, so it's nice that you can chain with X-Star, and X-Star does not have the boss buff yet, and he does not have enhancements yet, so maybe they'll be really great in the tower event, perhaps. I think that may be what they're looking for. People that have an X-Star and holding on to X-Star and they haven't pulled for any other damage dealers, and like, hey, this guy can chain with X-Star and do all this stuff, and there's a tower event coming up. So I think that's about it. Should you go for this guy? If you're free to play, probably not. You need to pull too many of him to make it matter. If you're a pay player and you don't care about Lapis, you can just buy as much Lapis as you need, then I'd say yes, go for this guy unless you have, if you have Barts, if you have Chair Rain, if you have CG Onion Knight, you can probably pass on this guy, honestly, because any of those will still be good, if not equally better or better than this guy. So, but if your damage dealer is Axe Star, or even before that, if you still are holding on to Hayu for some reason on the JP side, I think you should go for this guy, or at least try. But that's my review, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you liked it, please leave a comment down below what you think about the unit, and please leave a like on the video. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, as I make videos nearly daily. I try to make daily videos about FFBE. So, anyways, peace.